So, welcome back to a tiny update video for today. We answered the question, was this now the bottom for AMC or not? What is going on with BYND? Because of some misunderstandings or clarification, I will do a little update on Open again. Because of the merger news from yesterday, we look at BBBY and BYND. And because it's starting slowly getting a little bit interesting, we're looking at GNS. And in the end, we will also look at some community wishes. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal Method. I will link the explanation video at the end of the video, or you just search for the playlist Fractal Method. Before we start, I created now a little homepage as an addition to the YouTube channel. Main work will still stay at YouTube. It's just a little addition and it's still in alpha, beta status. But if you're interested, you can take a look. Okay. And let's jump into AMC first. So for the big tracking, because today nothing is happening. So we're taking a tiny look what we have done for the big version with one-part squeeze, two-part squeeze, price target, and so on. I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today, we just look what we have done. And as I said here, triple button, double button, quadruple button isn't bullish for AMC. So if you see this formation, when we are looking for the real V, that's a sign that we will drop. And we did it. Question now is that now the bottom? Yeah? And the thing is, I just don't like it. Yeah. When you are following me already a little bit, you know, I will show that in a second, but I want to see a real V. Yeah. Right now, this section here is looking for me is the same like this, same like this. Yeah. This is not really a V. Yeah. What do I mean with that? I mean this. I already showed that. Left side, 30-minute today. Middle, 1 hour, 2021. Right side, 30-minute, 2024, April. Yeah. And I'm just the opinion, is this and this looking the same like this? For me, not really. Yeah. I mean, okay, you can say that this knife here could be this knife, but it's so... You see, here you have a really nice knife, nice bounce. Also here in 2024, I mean, you could compare this, yeah, with a little knife, and then bounce. Here, with the comparison of 2024, is the problem. We knife down here, we V'd. But for a real V, I want to see a real V. That means down and instantly nice upside. Not an upside where you V down and then up, pull back, up, pull back, up, pull. Could be wrong here. The plus point here is this time, this was not a double button on the 30-minute. Yeah? So it was a down and up. So fine. My problem right now is that we rejected this trend. Yeah? You see this? You have a peak, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And right now, lower high. Yeah? So I'm tending more to it that this wasn't a button, that we will break it again. And hopefully this time with a nice drop and then instant V. Yeah. Still thinking we will hold over $1. Yeah. But I would like to see something like this here, for example. Yeah. Not something like this here. Yeah. Could be wrong. If we go up, I already wrote it in the last post. If you break 117, yeah. So if we go up here 117, okay, fine. Yeah, then this really looks like a V. Yeah? And then all versions come into play again. Do we do a higher low and then go up, or do we do we don't do the higher low and just go to A and doing the 618 pullback? We have to see. Right now, we just have to wait. Yeah. Yeah. Today is FOMC. I'm not saying that's important for AMC, but it's a volatility day. So maybe we get volume, yeah, and stop with this bullshit doing nothing. Let's see. Same before we go to the next one for GameStop. GameStop is just not moving right now. Yeah. So if you're interested, the link is at the end of the video. There's no reason to put it in this video today because there was just no change. Okay, so much for AMC. Next one is BYND. So for BYND also today, just a small update for the big one. Again, I will link the update video for the big one at the end of the video. In all, before we start with it, because I already saw yesterday some merger news, yeah, that BYND is merging with something. I will come to that back later, but this, I say it again, this merger news isn't for BYND Meat. Just saying. Yeah? For the tracking for BYND, because there were some misunderstandings in my opinion. From the last video to this, nothing changed yet. Yeah? Just saying. Thing is, we have now confirmed earnings next week. So in the stupidest way, I would say we're just doing nothing till next Wednesday. Yeah? Could be wrong. It doesn't have to be. But if the market, the Fractal, whoever needs a volatility event, I mean, today would be a good place, FOMC, or we really have to wait for next week. In that case, for the most bullish case, we just doing little higher lows after little higher lows till next week. We got this little pump, rejected the trend line. As of now, yeah, this is still okay. Yeah, this is still a higher low. We went under the 786 for this little higher low. So in this stupid case, we're just doing higher lows till we come to this trend line. Yeah, just saying. For levels, nothing changed. Over 84 cents, bullish, over 89 cents. And my alternatives to the downside are off the table, in my opinion. And as long, I say that now absolutely clearly, as long as we're not touching or breaking 64 cents, my price target and my time frame for our big A is still April 12th to 23. Yeah, as long as we're not touching or breaking this low, then everything is still okay. Still, if for the levels to the downside, I already said that in the last video, if we touch or break 71 cents, that's the 786. If we're now going down here, yeah, then this whole thing can't be A. Yeah? That means this thing, if we touched it, is high or low. Then we have to put this trend line up here. And if we touch that, we will go down to where? We have still here this little gap between 66 cents and 65 cents. And we were already theorizing, or I did, back here in February, that we fill this little gap. If you touch 71 cents, in my opinion, you will fill this gap. But I would still also say you do that before earnings, just because of the time frame. Even if you do that, my April time frame is still okay. The important thing for this is if we go down here, we are not allowed to touch or break 64 cents 64, because if you break this here, yeah, then this whole higher low here, this whole thing wasn't finished, and then we can only look for that we are holding the all-time low. That would still be okay. That would still be okay, but it will take more time. And we're running into the danger that this all-time low isn't holding, and this whole thing was just the, not thinking that, but as an alternative, we should have that. But again, if we touch or break 64 cents, April is off the table for me personally, because then we still have to do down here, a little higher, low, and up and up. Right now, nothing changed. Still the big tracking for, and then the linked video is on the table. Still looks absolutely perfect. For this right now, I know it's getting boring, but it just have to wait. Okay, next one is open. So open was in my last video, so I don't go through everything today. I'm just because there was a few questions, sorry, about, because we broke this level now, do we have to do the higher low? All in all, the tracking is still perfect. We still are looking that this B pullback is in the finish. But in the last video, I said, if you look from your A bottom to your B peak, 0.5 bounce. So this B looks as it would be finished, and we just need to do a high low, and then we go to our C. And in the last video, I said it looked like that this was here already our peak of our higher low, and that we now would go down here, finish the higher low, and go. So with this break here, this can't be our peak, yeah, because we broke to the upside. But I'm still the opinion that we still have to do a higher low. This will be just a bigger higher low. I even have a comparison for that. I will show in a second. Just for tracking wise, I would expect now that somewhere in this range here, we will reject. Yeah, so something between $5, $6 to $7 under this trend line, and wherever we are rejecting, we go back to the 786. Yeah, so if we reject this trend line here at $7, we would go back to 477-ish. And after that, you get your breakout level. Just to say that before we go to the comparison, if you go over 8 or 790, yeah, so if you go up to this, forget the idea that we still get a higher low, yeah, because this is confirmation for upside. Which upside? Well, I showed that in the last video. I would imagine something in this space would be our C, so something between 32 to 20-ish, if we're not just breaking all-time highs, yeah, which in that case nobody could tell you, because we have no explanation, no example for this. So for the comparison, this here is the A pullback from July 2025 till August 2025, and it's B, yeah, and we don't know, we never saw a B push and a B pullback, so it doesn't have to be one-to-one, but here you ran up and you did a long or pretty sharp pullback, same as you pushed up, pullback, and we did here a higher low also for A. So that's why I'm expecting or intending more that we still need the higher low before we go. I hope that was clear. But again, if you break over 8, I don't think we do this again. Let's see. All in all, it looks bullish. Yeah. So the really bearish alternative, where we break to the downside, is not completely off the table, but it's way way far away in my opinion. Let's see. Good. Next one is Bed Bath & Beyond. So before we go into tracking, because of the merger news, because I already said that in Beyond, I saw already some tweets or whatever about, yeah, Beyond is now merging. Yeah, Beyond is merging. Yeah? And I mean Beyond is merging, not Beyond. It's written shitty. The news I saw was really written shitty. The thing is, just for a little story, there was a stock called Overstock with a massive squeeze. Overstock rebranded itself into Beyond. Beyond bought the ticker and the chart of Bed Bath & Beyond. And Beyond a la Bed Bath & Beyond is now merging with this other company. This has nothing to do with Beyond Meat, only with Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah? Just for the story. Thing is, we have bullish tracking for Bed Bath & Beyond. And if this merger is now the catalyst, that would be great. Yeah? For the tracking, very short, bearish tracking, if you break down here to the downside, and if you touch this no touch line, that means if you touch 356, this was just TT, and you will make a new all-time low and higher low and blah, blah, blah. This will take time. Don't think that, but again, do not touch 350, 356. If not, if we go with the bullish tracking, well, we are finishing this macro higher low, and in the moment this macro higher low is finished, our next target is A, should be something over 12. Our next target would be B, is something over 36, and then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Again, I am tending to that we don't see these pullbacks. Just because if we're repeating 2020, here, this one, I think we don't see these pullbacks. And with merger news, catalysts, you know, maybe. Maybe if we are finished, we just go up. So, is this higher low finished? And I already said in the last video, it really looks like it. Yeah? Because if you take from your bottom to your peak, you're ready on March 12th, fall under the 786. Yeah. So for this, technically, this higher low is finished. I mean, you're already under your VNA since February. Yeah. So also finished. Yeah. And there's no other place to put this A. So this is also finished. And I already said in the last video, if we still need some time, we're just doing a higher low, a micro higher low to the big higher low, and then we go. But technically, this thing is finished. For levels, everything over 786, everything over this level here, and the alternatives to the downside are off the table. It looks interesting. So let's see. Okay. Next one is GNS. And it's already some time ago of our last update, but the thing is, I already said in the last update, I don't know, it was something January or February, because I said we have to finish this higher low and there is no reason to make updates till then. Yeah? But right now it's getting interesting. Just for the tracking, GNS started its IPO in its all-time high, done lower high, midpoint T, down to, for the bullish tracking, all-time low on April 2025. And since April 2025, we are working on this higher low. Before we look if this is finished, when this is finished, your next target for A is around 7. Next target for B around 84. And then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Just one thing, because I didn't made the pullbacks here on purpose, because every time when GNS is going, you just don't see A pullback, B pullback. It's always straight candles to the upside. So I really think we don't see the pullbacks. Could be wrong. For our higher low here, because I think I already saw in the last days a few people talking very bullish about it. And I think this, what was that? This was a 12% move. Yeah, 15% move. First of all, 15% for GNS is nothing for this stock. Yeah, you see that. It, for numbers wise, it looks good, but for this, 15% is nothing. Yeah, 200% is something. Next thing, in my opinion, we aren't finished yet. We are close, but we aren't finished yet. Why? Higher low is always ending in a 786. This here is at $32, or in a V under A. And our V under A is here at 30 cents. So this time, in my opinion, I could be wrong here, but this time I am not saying if this and if this, then that. For me, this higher low isn't finished yet. Yeah, just because for me it makes no sense to bounce here and go up. Just no. We didn't VNA, we didn't under the 786. It makes no sense for me to bounce here. It's the same shit like we are waiting so long now to get our 30 cents. This thing is always teasing us. So now we knife down. Oh, we don't. Now we knife down. No, we don't. Yeah. Whoosh. Sorry for the cat attack. So no. This time I really have to say I want my 30 cents. It makes no sense to bounce here. If you go now suddenly see this, yeah, I will sit here and say, okay, I got this wrong. But for me personally, this is just a little bounce, especially if we look at this here. We have a triple bottom. Yeah, that's not bullish for me now. No, just no. We are close, and I say this: if we fall under 30 cents, I will buy. No financial advice, but right now I want this last fucking drop to 30 cents, and even if it's only half a cent under it, doesn't matter for me. I want under 30 cents, because then after that they are suing Citadel, so there is some bullshit news will come out and we just could go. This looks absolutely fucking nice. Close, not yet, but close. Okay, now to the three community wishes. We start with LGVN. Thing is not looking that bad in my opinion. On the other side, you don't have a lot of price action still for this. Yeah, I mean, it's an older company, perfect. In my opinion, for it looks like tracking, I would say you are right now in the best case somewhere like here. Yeah, March 2003. So that means you would go up, but you wouldn't break all-time highs. And after that, you will even fall even lower. And I know we're already at 89 cents, but this company already did a reverse split, so it could do another one. For the tracking wise, you have here your C in November 21, lower high, midpoint T. This looks like it could be the V. Also, I'm the opinion that this is the peak already of our higher low. This one here is, in my opinion, already the peak of our higher low. Means I would expect that we now fall back under 50-60 cents ish for the under the 786, and then we would go up. Next target for your A would be anything over 720, pullback up to your B, anything over 46, pullback, and then the question already comes, where are we rejecting, in my opinion? I mean, you could break here all-time highs, but I would expect that you will reject somewhere in here. For levels, of course, if you touch or break 47, our new all-time low, I would say hands off, because yeah, we just have to look for a new low. For levels to the upside, if you break $1.86, again, then there's this case we don't doing the higher low, and we just go up to our A. And now, because why I don't think we're breaking all-time highs here, you only have to look at these two sections here, this one and this one. You will see you have the same formation here. You have here this little peak, pull back up to your all-time highs back then, and then drop. It's really looking quite the same. You have this peak here, this little peak. You have this downfall, run up to your peak, and then the massive downfall. It's the same shit like we did here. So, thing is, in my opinion, we would be here. That's why I think we will go up here, but we won't break all-time highs. The only version where you could say we're breaking now all-time highs is that you're somewhere in this range. Main problem if this is right now, I don't have any points here where I can say we already saw this. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. Looks bullish right now, just be careful. Yeah. And again, if you touch a break, all-time lows, hands off. Good. Next one is SMX. And for this, I really have to say it's the first time I say, no, I won't track this. Because of some reasons. First of all, this chart looks like Moulin, for example. Yeah, this is the same version like so many other stocks where you IPO'd, did nothing, got a peak, and since then you're just dropping. Yeah. And then at every time you're doing a reverse split, 1 to 22, 1 to 75, 1 to 52, 10 to 40, and so on, and then even a 1 to 1000, 1 to 250. This is a perfect example of a failing company, in my opinion. Without the splits, you would be already at 2 cents or even lower for this. And to say this, if you're a buyer here, here, or here, you will never get your money back. Yeah. Even, I'm not saying that's not impossible to get fractal wise up here, but not without forward splits. You will never see this stock at one share for 70K. No. No. And tracking wise, I could now tell you this is T, somewhere here is M, and here is L, V, higher, low, but that would be just guessing. Yeah, we have no comparison. It's just downtrending. In my personal opinion, hands off this company. Yeah, of course you have good movements here, but for me that's gambling. Yeah, this is just shit. There are way better stocks out there, in my opinion, especially at $12. If we would talk about a stock which is costing 10-20 cents, you could say, okay, maybe we are playing a little bit, but not with $12. No. So sorry. Yeah, this is a no-go for me. Okay, next one is OPTT. And this isn't looking bad. Just to say that, I have two versions, but just saying it's a slow mover. I wouldn't expect something quick in this. The more bearish version, we start first. Yeah, we have our all-time highs, lower high, midpoint T, all-time low. And what we are doing right now would be just our higher low. Our V would be in June 2024, and now we're doing the higher low. Means this higher low wouldn't be finished yet. So you would still have to come down to 21 cents, and then you would go up. If we're doing A pullback, B pullback, C, yeah, with our rules 1 per 1, yeah, but we never saw A or B, so could also be this. Wouldn't bet on it. This would be the more bearish version. The bull version would be this, where you have your V already, same as the other version, but you already did your higher low. Here, you fell under the 786. This here is your higher low, and you would have broken already out of this trend. But the thing is, this would be just small a. Yeah. The small a should be already finished because you bounced at the 618. But you would then do something like small b, pullback. Then you would go up to your small c, which is your big A. This would take some time. And to say this, I'm more tending to this one, where this is the higher low, because normally if you're doing your higher low in an end, this looks like it could be already finished, the first fractal, you should see volatility after the higher low. I mean, we got that here, but you should go up to your A. It's slight uncommon to do an A, B, C to your A. Yeah. So, but if you go up from here, yeah, and especially for levels, if you break over 89 cents, you will do this. Yeah. If you go down from here, you will just do the version before, and this would be this. Yeah. Only important point here is do not touch 11 cents or break it. Yeah. Because otherwise, yeah, hands off. Because then reverse splits are on the table again. I mean, they should be already on the table because we are under $1 for some time now. So it isn't looking that bad. Yeah, so fractal wise, okay. Good. I think that was it for today. Again, only if you're interested. Here the homepage. Yeah. Main work still on YouTube. It should just be a little addition. Also, explanation video for the method here, playlist here, and the big update video, especially for AMC, Beyond, Bad Buff and Beyond, and GME, I will put back here. If you liked it, you can leave a like. If you want to see more, you can leave an abo. Well, let's see what happens the rest of the week. Yeah.